Distinguished panelists, as I mentioned yesterday, and fellow panelist participants and dear young scholars, as I mentioned yesterday, maritime is a very unpredictable sphere. And as we saw, even I was surprised, the churning has taken place, so 2 sessions have joined, and we have a young scholar who will join us to do the presentation on the subject. But the basic theme that was for the session was the role of Indian Navy in the emerging global order. Now, over the last day and a half, we have been appreciating the importance of maritime domain, and all of us have been airing our thoughts and very intelligent questions on how to ensure maritime security. Now, as we mentioned, it could be apart from the conventional threats, we also have the low-intensity maritime operations. Now, at the time of independence, our Navy was a very small coastal force, as Britain did not want any challenges to Royal Navy. But well before independence, by the early 19th century and more towards the middle of the 19th century, we had scholars like and strategists like Radha Kumud Mukherjee, Sardar K.M. Panikkar, and our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who focused on the importance of maritime domain for India. In fact, Nehru, in his letter to his Defence Minister, then Defence Minister, Sri K.N. Kardju, in September 55, wrote, and I quote, "Not all land forces can protect us from sea attacks. The Air Force can protect us to some extent, but only to a very limited one just near our borders. The sea has no frontiers like the land which has it. India, therefore, has to play an important role in the ocean surrounding her. I do not mean to say that we should presume to control these oceans. That's too big a task. But we should be strong enough to resist the control of any other power," unquote. Now, Nehru also opined on the types of ships for the Navy and the need for aircraft carrier, and I quote, "It's really a moving airstrip which can be sent anywhere and stationed anywhere. Its mere presence gives strength to the Navy and to our defense position." He went on to say that it gives a certain command over the area where it can reach, unquote. Now, where the naval operations in World War II in the Indian and Pacific Ocean, and more specifically, the entry of Japanese Navy into Indian waters, brought into focus the importance of control of the seas for security of India. And I mentioned thinkers like Mukherjee, K.M. Panikkar, and Prime Minister Nehru, who appreciated the importance of sea power for a nation like India, resulted in the revival of maritime outlook in modern India. Now, early naval planners also played a major role, and Indian Navy grew, as I mentioned yesterday, from a virtual coastal force into a major maritime force with an air arm and an aircraft carrier by 1961. At that time, no nation in Asia had an aircraft carrier. Japan had it during World War II, but then they had stopped getting involved, building aircraft carriers. So India was able to develop a balanced navy operating well away from our own waters and a coast guard to safeguard our exclusive economic zone. So Indian Navy took the necessary steps for indigenous construction of frigates, what today we call Atmanirbharta. Way back, it started in the late 50s when we started building smaller patrol craft, and we started building frigates in the mid-60s in the Mazgon docks, the Nilgiri class of ships that came out. Today we are into construction of aircraft carriers and submarines, both conventional and nuclear. Now, it is undergoing a significant transformation from a regional coastal force into a potent blue water navy, emerging as a primary guarantor of maritime security in the Pacific, and is a key pillar of India's foreign policy. In the emerging global order, Indian Navy serves as a preferred security partner and the first responder to balancing crisis. And with the China rising, as we have seen, there is important need for balancing forces to maintain free, open, and inclusive maritime domain. Now, maritime diplomacy is another emerging role for navies and coast guard. It entails the use of naval force to support foreign policy objectives of the government to build bridges of friendship and strengthen international cooperation on one hand, and to signal the capability and intent to deter political adversaries on the other. Let's now, in the first step, move towards what is the future of the Indian Navy and what are we looking at. May I request Commodore Prakash to take over.